we talked about the garage sale at that the Jim Harbaugh and his wife are putting on in Ann Arbor as they say goodbye and go out to L.A. So Jim Harbaugh and his wife are throwing this garage sale up, and they're trying to make a few bucks on their way out the door. And a lot of these are really good prices. Now, are the prices as cheap if you are looking to, I don't know, switch jersey numbers and say you go to the Atlanta Falcons, you'd like to have jersey number 8, but then you settle on number 18 and people are speculating, well, why is that, Kirk Cousins? Why did you decide to settle on 18, and why did Kyle Pitts not go ahead and change jersey numbers out of the goodness of his heart with Kirk Cousins? And so apparently was there a financial reason behind this there, Brady Quinn? Like apparently it gets a little bit pricey to go ahead and do this stuff here in the NFL?
Yeah. If Kyle Pitts wants to change his number, someone's got to pay for the jerseys that are in inventory, which that's always been the rule in the agreement. It doesn't make any sense to me. And LaVar, I don't know if it bothers you, but it's like a company's decided to have an inventory of jerseys, right? That's their decision as a business owner. And granted, you get a portion of obviously your jersey sales, right? It benefits you, but it's also because you give them the right to use your name, image, and likeness in the sense of selling those jerseys with your number and name on the back. So I don't understand why it's on the players' onus to have to buy whatever inventory is there in order to be able to change numbers. And the rule is if they decide they want to change their number, and let's say, for example, they'll say, well, I'm going to play this year number 8, but in 2025, I'm going to wear number 4, okay? You won't be penalized. You don't have to buy out that inventory. However, you have to go this entire year with probably not selling any of your jerseys because most people are going to wait for that new jersey number once you select in the 2025 season. And obviously a lot of things can happen between now and then, right? Trades, etc. So there's just a lot of different nuances to this particular rule. And it's one of the reasons why, Kirk Cousins, who, look, if you'll say one thing about him, man, he's made a ton of money. But we've talked about this before. It seems like he lives a very modest life, right? He's spending those Kohl's bucks. I think he's got a good deal with.
Raising Cane's, nothing fancy. Yeah,
I don't think he wants to spend any more money on a jersey number because that's what Pitt's probably asked for. Is like, hey, we're going to switch numbers. You're going to have to buy out my inventory of jerseys. And Kyle Pitts is a popular player. He's a very good player. So I'm sure there was amount of money where Cousins is like, yeah, I'd rather just wait another year. We'll see how this thing goes.
I don't buy it. I still, for one, I don't think he's as frugal as it may appear that he is. That's for one. I mean, guys like that, they show you like little sneak glimpses that they got it in them. And when he was on the plane with all that jewelry on, it just gave you a sneak glimpse. You know what I mean? There's another side to Kirk Cousins that we're not aware of.
LaVar thinks Kirk Cousins is Ric Flair.
I mean,
he's styling and profiling.
He's got everybody convinced.
I'll say this, man. I got the chance to, calling the game for this year and talking to him before. Like, he's a pretty down-to-earth guy. Very pragmatic, very into his family and process. Well, he is about as a normal-seeming guy as it gets for a guy who's going to make around $411 million by 2027.
Yep.
I think it was Justin.
Some of them coins is going out. I'm telling you.
Justin Jefferson said it was either last offseason or the offseason before that they reached out to Kirk to go ahead and have like an offseason workout together to go throw it at some location, and he just said, nah, I'm with my family. And Justin Jefferson, they asked him, did that bother you? And he was like, no, that's just Kirk. He just wants to hang out with his family. He doesn't get to see him as much during the season, and so that's, in the off season, he says it's family time, and that's his focus and his main priority. So
I also think that's one of the reasons, because if you actually look at throughout his career how he's handled his contract scenarios, he has put as much on the line as anyone. Playing his way out of Washington to get to free agency, playing his way into a guaranteed contract, and then playing his way even in this scenario this offseason. Yeah. Like, how many other players have put themselves in a spot where they've put it on them to go out there and perform? And in those years, look, regardless of what people want to say about his playoff record and everything else, he has been as consistent of a quarterback, statistically speaking, during the regular season as anyone over the past 8 years. 4,000-yard seasons, high completion percentage, good touchdown-interception ratio, all those metrics you're going to look at. He has been good enough to be able to warrant the contracts that he's been offered and has signed. And there's something to that. And I think, when part of the reason why I think he's been able to play really well or well enough to get these contracts is because he doesn't allow his entire life and identity to be wrapped up as a player. Like, he sees himself as a dad. He sees himself as, just a guy who loves to play the game of football, and it's good for, business, obviously. And I think because of that, it doesn't allow the pressure of the situation to get to him. Like, the weight of the world is not on his shoulders at this point. I think he knows he's financially going to be fine for generations. But I also think he doesn't see himself as just a quarterback. He sees himself as a dad, as a husband, all those things that you kind of saw in that show.
What do you think,
I'm going to go back to my original point. And my original point wasn't about him spending his cash. My original point that I was going to make is this would never happen if it was Tom Brady. And listen, I know everybody, it's Tom Brady, it's Tom Brady. Don't use Tom Brady. I mean, listen, if Tom Brady went to a different team, Tom Brady did go to a different team. Tom Brady's wearing his number. I just think this is just another reminder that we're talking about a guy who, while he is being very, very praised and spoken about very glowingly, I mean,
did Brady take anybody's number 12 when he got?
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to look at. I don't think he did, so it's a little different.
Yeah. If he
I know that's going to run right against the
12,
narrative you're trying to portray, but I don't think he actually took anyone's number.
I don't think it matters. Tom Brady was going to wear 12.
It kind of does.
Yeah, not at all. Tom Brady would have worn 12 if he went to the Timbuktu Cougars to play. I don't care what team he would have played for. Tom Brady would have had 12. There's certain guys, they would have had their number if they went there.
Actually, it was Godwin. I think Godwin had 12.
Yeah, you're right.
And Godwin went to 14.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it wouldn't have mattered. But thank you for pulling it up.
So here's what I know that does matter, because this is like the actual truth behind it, is Tom probably had to play for Chris Godwin's inventory. Whatever that was there in Tampa, he had to buy out in order for Godwin to change numbers, because that's how that works. The new player to the new team doesn't obviously have to pay anything other than, hey, I've got to pick a number. But in this case, if Godwin wants to change, Tom Brady probably paid out whatever that inventory of Tampa Bay Bucks 12 jerseys was for Brady to turn to 12.
I mean, if it came down to
it's not just about like a guy saying like, it's Tom Brady, I'm going to give up my number to him. It's also like, hey, I'm going to give him my number, but can you like pay this amount? Like, I think the greater issue is the fact that any player has to pay for an inventory when someone else made that decision. I think
that's asinine. I agree with you there.
It's so stupid.
But I'm still going to stick and hold true to certain players are going to get their numbers. Like, could you imagine Jim Brown, God rest his soul, going to a different team and not wearing 32?
You got to pay.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that. Y'all so locked in on one point. Whatever needs to happen is going to happen because that guy's going to wear his number.
Amen.
That's all I'm saying. That guy's going to wear his number. He's not going to wear a different number.
Got to pay to play.
I don't think it matters. I think it's just about the money, and maybe Kirk Cousins just didn't want to pay for it.
All right. There's mindsets in there. And again, like, he doesn't want to pay for it. I mean, in the end, like, we're talking about a guy that, I mean, we're acting like he's like the best quarterback. It sounds like the conversation's like we're talking about the best quarterback in the league right now. It's kind of strange to me.
Fill out your tourney brackets now in the Fox Sports Radio Bracket Challenge. Visit foxsportsradio.com now to register, fill out your bracket, and get rules. You can compete against Fox Sports Radio hosts and fellow listeners to see who has the best bracket. The winning bracket wins the ultimate college sports trip for you and a friend with a $2,000 graduate Hotels gift card, a $1,500 travel credit, and a basketball swag bag. The FoxSportsRadio.com Bracket Challenge is now live, and it is presented by Graduate Hotels, where college fans stay, and by Tractor Supplies.